Hello, class, and welcome to week 3. This week we'll be going over you'll take on a role as product owner, and we'll look further into requirements and capturing user stories. And so it's hard to believe it's week 3 already. I know the course goes by really quick when there's only 7 or 8 weeks. So I hope you're keeping up with all the reading and the assignments. I'll try to get the grades out in the next couple of days. I try to get them out to you as soon as I can. I appreciate you turning in your grades early. That way, if anything happens, over the weekend, you always have some time to submit the grades. When I was taking classes, I always try to complete the work the weekend before. Looking at what we went over so far, we've talked about the SDLC phases, requirements analysis, system design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance, kind of broad overview. We talked about waterfall versus agile methodologies. And of course, the course is going over agile. So we went over the history of agile and also the agile manifesto. We started looking into the Scrum framework, the roles, events, artifacts, and then he looked at some of the tools, logged into the virtual machines, and looked at Eclipse and some of the IDEs. And you'll use those more this week. This week, like I said, you'll take on the role as a product owner. So the objectives this week is to evaluate how an agile development model applies to a real world scenario, create user stories, and manage a product backlog to guide a development process. Remember, as a product owner, it's your responsibility to ensure you have all the user requirements for user stories and to manage the product backlog. And that's, working with the team, but deciding what are the most important features and what can you get done in a sprint, and scheduling those and assigning resources. Then you'll customize existing code to implement a user story. The code's already there, so it's just making some minor changes to it. If you have any questions during that, that's one of the reasons why we have the open discussion board. So feel free to work with each other a little bit on the existing on the code, modifying the code, and look at the rubrics and the requirements for the assignments again, and see, make sure that you're meeting all the requirements. And I know a lot of people get hung up on the courses, as far as the coding goes. Sometimes they'll get stuck there, but when they look at the requirements, the documentation and understanding the process is much more important than that, actually modifying the code. You'll reflect as the importance as a product owner role in the development team. That's through the journal. So the required reading for this week is the Project Master Guide, or the textbook, Chapter 4, Agile Planning Requirements and Product Backlog, exactly what we've been talking about. There'll be a discussion on tracking the Agile process, and you will look at some of the challenges, the real-world challenges that are faced in development. The assignment is on user stories, so as the product owner, you'll develop user stories based on the user requirements. And then the code part is developing the basic list view control. And so using the travel project that you'll use throughout the course, make minor modifications to list view controller. And like I said, please use the development question discussion board, to work with each other for best practices. And appreciate your documentation and any code changes. And the journal, finally, the journal. This week you'll add to your journal the product owner, so you'll continue your journal and you add in there some of your thoughts on the product owner. Again, make sure you're looking at the rubric through all the assignments, and the assignments will prepare you for the final project. So you can start creating your final project document if you haven't done so yet, and start working on it through the course. That way, when we get into the final week, all these assignments build into that final project. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'm here. Respond usually same day. Travel a little bit this weekend, so I'll be a little bit out of pocket, but that's one of the reasons why I ask you to try to submit assignments early, or look at the assignments and try to get any questions in early, prior to the weekend. And like I said, I'm here. Shoot me an email, and enjoy the course. It's pretty straightforward. The Agile method, if you haven't done it before, it's it's like we discussed the first week, one of the best ways to develop new code and capture requirements and get the features out there for the users. Again, if you have any questions, I'm here, and have a great week.